probably forgot about my YouTube channel. Me too, that's okay. Anyways, we're here at the Huntsville Airport and we're going out to Columbus, Ohio to film a couple of interviews and corporate projects. So I thought it'd be cool to take you along to see exactly how I do corporate interviews and commercial type work. So yeah, I'm gonna drink this cup of coffee now, and first flight is to Detroit and then the second flight is to Columbus. So let's do it. Made it to Detroit, now on to Columbus, Ohio. Let's do this. Pretty exciting. So finally made it to downtown Columbus, Ohio. Cool little place, neat town. I'm staying downtown. Cool little mirror selfie. Boom, there it is. Cool mirror. Take all the mirror selfies. I really want to find a good rooftop. I don't know why I'm showing you this. It's completely overexposed. But I really want to find rooftop access because I want to take a drone boomerang. And I think it'd be cool here. Cool little skyline. My back just is killing me. I think I overpacked, but I'm not too sure. I guess I'll find out tomorrow when I actually go do the event. I mean, look at this. Packed off. I'm talking about tripods on tripods on tripods, and then lights here. That was a pain. I really want to do a what's in my bag gear list video for travel filmmaking in this capacity for corporate events and stuff like that. I think it'd be really neat. Right now, mission is to go get a drone boomerang, so let's do it. I really want to see if this hotel has rooftop access because that would be cool. If it doesn't, then I'm gonna have to take a trip. I don't see roof, but I'm hopeful. Nope, not gonna work. So now we have to take a trip. Cool, got the drone shot. So I've never used the app Turo, and the host found out that I was a videographer, and he found out that I had a drone, and so he took me to this cool waterfall, and this is a clip right here of it. Super nice guy, highly recommend. Anyways, I got the drone shot. Beautiful skyline. I wouldn't have expected this in Ohio, for real. So I think I'm gonna wrap it up today. I'm pretty tired. Go to the hotel, edit, prepare for tomorrow, and can't wait for tomorrow morning because I have something super excited planned, so stay tuned. So the actual shoot starts around 2 o'clock and it's about 10 now. I kind of slept in a little bit, but the mission now is to go to a coffee shop and find somewhere to work and drink coffee. Supposedly in downtown Columbus, finding a coffee shop's not that hard. So let's do it. Also, I was telling you about that exciting thing planned. It kind of backfired because what I thought it was is not what it is. Maybe we'll do something tomorrow. I have no idea. So that was super interesting. I picked that coffee shop off of Google and they're playing with tech decks, poured it in the coffee. That was cool. Great coffee shop. I'll be there tomorrow. But now we got to go film that interview thing for the company. And then after that, figure out something to do in Columbus. I don't know. Yeah, for real, I spent way too much time in the coffee shop, but that's okay. Packing up now. Got all the gear in this big suitcase. Oh, sweet. Overall, great success, good interviews, good lighting. It worked out well. Now I get to hang out in Columbus till tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. That's an understatement for sure. This table is way too high for this chair, but it looked good as a layout, so here it is. Anyways, I don't think I had enough informative content in order to put together a video, so I decided to take you on a little tour of what gear I use in order to make documentary film. So first off, what you saw in the video before this was the A7R2 and the A7S2. And I like using these two cameras if I'm using a 2-camera setup because they have very similar color profile settings and pictures. It's really easy to match them up. The A7 III, which is what I'm using now, it has a weird purple tint and it's a little bit harder because it's 8-bit color to match up with these two cameras. So yes, these cameras are old. They were made back in 2014, I believe, but they still have amazing quality. And if you're looking into getting into any of this, these cameras are a no-brainer because they have all the features that you need in order to get started and even make professional corporate video like I do, and even wedding films. So let's get started. We'll start out with the cameras because why not? First we have the A7R2. Shoots 42 megapixels, full frame sensor. It is absolutely a beast of a camera. Fun fact, I actually dropped this camera during a photo shoot, and along with this lens, so that's another story for another time. This camera is so good that I sent it off to repair instead of buying a new one. The reason why that light just turned on is because it's battery powered and the button's on the opposite side, so if I just push it down, so it'll turn off. But anyways, this camera is so good that I had it repaired because it is totally worth it. And then connected to it, I have the 85 1.4 G Master. I didn't use it in the actual A-roll clips, but I used it for B-roll. The reason why I use this for B-roll is because it compresses the image and makes everything look the best way to put it is look way more entertaining than what it actually is. I love this lens because not only that, but you have a manual aperture like so you can dial in the correct settings. Unfortunately, this thing took a drop. I can't put any filters on it because it has a chip on the side, unfortunately, but if this lens was glued to my camera for life, I wouldn't be mad. This is such a great investment, and I bought it used. Overall, I love this. This is what takes my main portraits when I'm taking pictures. You can't go wrong with full frame and 85. So next, we have the A7, light keeps turning on. So next we have the A7S2. I love this camera because of the low light capabilities. Not only that, like I said, it matches up with this color. Once again, it is full frame. It only shoots 12 megapixels, and some would argue that that's not a good camera, but I disagree when you're taking video because the megapixels don't matter when you're doing video. 42 megapixels, when you increase the ISO, it just gets really grainy, but because this is only 12 megapixels, when you increase the ISO, the megapixels are bigger, meaning you don't see the grain. I love this camera. Once again, it's old, but it works so well still today in 2020. Now attached, I have two different pieces of lens gear. First is the Metabones Mark IV adapter, thinking that it was going to be good at autofocus. Listen, if you want autofocus, get a native lens. That's all I have to say. So this right here, I kind of regret spending the $450 that I spent on this, but it works. I decided to keep it because I didn't really want to return it. Next, I have the Canon 50mm 1.4 lens, and I love this lens because it is affordable, not cheap, affordable. Maybe this is just me, but I just absolutely love the colors through this lens. I would get the 1.2, but honestly, you can't keep really anything in focus at 1.2. So I decided to opt with the 1.4. It's never really on 1.4 anyways whenever I use it, but it's good to have for low light situations. This is a great lens. In fact, it's what I used to take for portraits when I shot on a Canon 70D. You can't go wrong with the 50mm. This is the one step up from the Nifty 50, which is $200. Or no, it's not even $200, it's $125, I believe. So if I'm in a tight space, I'll use a 50mm. If I'm in a pretty large space, I'll use the 85 just because I love the look of the 85. So now that I have the cameras out of the way, what I'd normally do is use this shotgun mic, which is what I'm using to record this video right now, so you'll probably hear me picking it up and stuff. This is the Rode VideoMic Pro Plus. The upgrades, the only reason why I got this instead of using my old Rode VideoMic Pro is because mine broke. I wouldn't have upgraded if that was the case, but this does have some nice features. For example, it automatically turns on when the camera's turned on, so you never forget to turn it on. It's got a built-in battery, so all you have to do is charge it, plug it in. And most importantly, you don't have to carry around 9-volt batteries wherever you go or buy 9-volt batteries. 9-volt batteries are expensive. The third camera, which is what I'm recording this video right now, is the A7 III, and I absolutely love that camera simply because of the fact of 120 frames per second. And that's great when you're in a tight situation and you're doing run and gun and you need to make sure you have good B-roll. You never know exactly when you're shooting 24 frames if, you know, everything covers in one shot or not. So that's why I like having the A7 III on the gimbal or handheld when I'm not using these two. And the glass on it is a Zeiss Batis, I don't know, 25mm prime lens. All of these are prime lenses because zoom lenses, there's a little bit of quality difference that kind of bugs me. There's a lot of quality difference in my opinion. They're just more sharp, they're built for their focal length, and it just looks amazing. Yes, I already talked about this microphone, but let's go on to audio. Audio is so important, and it's 50% of the viewing experience if you really think about it. Yes, having a good image quality is important, but having good audio makes so much of a difference. For audio, and what I told the interviewees to do is put one of these microphones on, and I carry two of them. They are the Tascam DR10Ls. They record locally, so you don't have to worry about wireless interference. All you have to worry about is it syncing up, and that's pretty easy with the clap. Just like that, you can sync it up in post and you're good to go. Or you can use a software called Pluralize, which all you do is hit synchronize and it syncs everything. But in case something happens, like the file corrupts, I use this as the backup camera, and I put it on the camera closest to the subject. If you're just starting out in filmmaking and you want something reliable and pretty affordable, I'd get a Tascam DR10L. I don't like the idea of wireless unless I just have to use it for whatever event or thing that I'm filming. It's just a preference for what I do, and I just like being able, in case the video cuts out, still have the audio and be fine. This right here is a Zoom H1N attached with a Rode SmartLav. This is my first microphone I ever bought for filmmaking. It's a champ. It's been through the hall for 3 years now, and you can't really go wrong with it. The only reason why I bought these two, one, because I needed more microphones, but two, because this thing is kind of bulky and people ask a lot of questions when you're putting it on. To be fair, when you're filming a wedding ceremony, this right here, they can obviously see it's recording, which you're not trying to do anything sketchy or whatnot, but you just get asked so many questions. Oh, is it recording all the conversations? Avoid the situation. Get one of these because they can't really tell if it's recording or not, and you don't have to have that conversation. Not that you're trying to listen to whatever they have to say anyways, but save yourself the trouble and get one of these. So the monitor that I was using is the Andy Cine 4K, and for the main camera, I pull manual focus for everything, by the way. So for the main camera, I have this just so I can nail the focus in case the second camera's autofocus is just corrupt or whatever. The focus will be nailed with this, and so the client can see exactly the composition for your video so they can approve or disapprove depending on the subject. It's powered by MPF batteries, the Sony brand. They last forever if you get the 970s like I do. And it's got a cold shoe mount so you can attach whatever you need. For me, it's usually a microphone. And the absolute feature that I love about this thing is you can power your camera through the monitor, which is kind of cool if you're in a situation where you just need the extra battery life. But the most important feature for me is downsampling. So this thing actually takes 4K video feed and downscales it to 1080 instead of you having to film 1080. It just gets rid of the hassle of transcoding the media to a monitor. Next, we'll move on to the drone and the aerial stuff. I actually use the drone for low shots instead of the gimbal. For me, the gimbal's just so hard to control and it gets tiring. Why do all the work when your drone can do the work for you? So the best drone shots I've ever gotten were actually low shots instead of high shots, and that's a tip that I really don't tell anybody. I love this drone, the Mavic 2, the Hasselblad, I think that's how you say it, I have no idea. The camera in the front is absolutely beautiful. It shoots 10-bit 4K 30. I normally put it at 24. The colors are amazing. The dynamic range is amazing. It's just a good drone and such an improvement from the Mavic 1 series. But the only reason why I bought this is because the Mavic died on me. It actually caught on fire, but that's a story for another time. And on to the support systems. First, we have the Ronin S. That's not the Ronin S. We have the Zion Crane 2, which I absolutely love, and the reason why I love this gimbal is because of the easy exchange of batteries. You'll notice on every piece of gear, of course the one piece of gear that I showed today, I use this Manfrotto head thing. And I like it because it's easy. You don't have to slide it. You just pop it on, pop it off. It just works so well with what I do. And it's even on the monopod, which is holding the camera that you're seeing now. So this is my big tripod. It's got the same head with the same mount, so it's easy to pop in and out. I like this tripod because it gets as tall as I need it to get. It's got the pop and lock adjustments, so you don't have to twist. And if you extend it like so, it'll come out just like that, and you can even put it in a horizontal fashion. So if you're trying to do top-down shots, this tripod is excellent. Here's some advice that I'll give to anybody getting started into filmmaking. Put money towards your support systems first, because if you treat your support systems right, they will be there pretty much for your entire career. The first things I purchased was not a new camera, was not a new lens, but this tripod, that head, and the monopod head that you're seeing now. I've had it since I've started. Now the gimbal, I would have kept using the Zion Crane version 2, but the motors failed, so I had to buy a new one. But the point is, invest in equipment that lasts, like these cameras. These cameras were made in 2014, but still functional and usable, and recommended by me in 2020. Next, we have these lights. These lights are on Amazon. They were Neewer, I don't know how you say the brand name, but these lights were, I think, $300 for a 3-pack. I love these lights. They're easy to set up. They're portable. They're powered by the same batteries as the monitor. In the interview that I shot today, I powered them through battery, so I didn't have to place any kind of cables or anything, so the subject could walk in and out, and I didn't have to patch cables or anything. These are just amazing lights, and they're soft enough so you can get nice looking footage. They're also bicolor, so you can switch from yellow to white. They're really good lights for what they cost. So in my gear, I packed 3 of them for a 3-point lighting scheme, but today I only used 2 with one of these, which I'll get to in just a second. They're just so small and compact, able to be fit in a suitcase. I don't have any need as of this moment to buy aperture lights, which are super expensive. Last but not least, I have these little light wand things. I'd use these mainly for weddings, but today they worked so perfectly well for a hair light. I didn't have room to set up a tripod. The window was casting a light, but it wasn't the hair light that I was looking for. But these things right here are, this one doesn't have a battery, and I don't know why I'm trying to turn it on. But these lights are absolutely amazing. They're bicolor, so you can turn them to 3200 Kelvin or 5500 Kelvin. Today I used it at 5500 Kelvin. You can change the light from coarse to fine, depending on the style of light that you want. And they'll even connect to Bluetooth and use RGB, so you can change it to red, blue, green. That's what obviously RGB means. And they use the same batteries as all of my other gear that requires Sony batteries. That's from a brand called Yongnuo. Chinese made, but they work so well. And I even have them mounted on a ball swivel so I can adjust it when it's on the light stand. I think that's it. These light stands came with the lights, so I highly recommend this light kit, by the way, if you're just starting out. It's a great value for what you get. If you made it this far in the video, I'm actually highly impressed. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.